Okay, so 2 exercises for the warm-up, really short and sharp. We're just gonna focus on our takeoff position and getting strength through the front leg. So what I want you to do is set up close to a 2-point start position. So you'll go heel to heel, turn the back toe, and then just give it a half turn. From this position, we're still strong. We're able to get power off 2 legs, but our focus is gonna be about 80% driving through this front side. I want you to push down on that front heel. So I'm pushing through the left heel. And as I start to push through the left heel, I'm going to drive back through the ground. I'm also pulling through the ball of my big toe and about the midfoot. So I can feel my calf loaded on that front side. Once the calf's loaded, the knee goes over hard and then I can feel the quad. And I've got a really good, strong, sharp angle from the front. I'm going to maintain this and then my body's going to curl towards the floor. And I'm going to keep this angle on the front and drive through the middle of my foot, pushing up. And then again, as I go down, the right hip now is screwing into that left leg. I'm gripping through the midfoot, pushing up. And we're going to do 6 reps of this. And what I'm doing is focusing on driving back through the ground. And when we go into our takeoff position, we'll see this when I'm here, the knee over toe, that's the force that we want to try and produce to be able to accelerate to move forward. So you'll do 6 reps both sides just to even up the pattern. As an athlete, you'll need to move off both legs. But when we do this, we're just going to go off our favored side. So if I was to do the right leg, it's heel pressure, pulling back to load the calf. Once the calf's loaded, we keep pulling back, load the quad. And then now the left hip goes to the right knee. We drive through that midfoot, driving through. So there's a lot of pressure coming through calf, quad, and hip. Nice and strong. Okay, the next drill is our wall acceleration drill. It's really basic, but I love this for fundamentals. Gives us a really good, strong postural position. So we set up on a nice sharp angle like you would be for our takeoff on our acceleration. So go as long as you can. We'll make this more challenging for the core. And as part of the warm-up, it gives a good little stability warm-up for your trunk as well. So we squeeze the bum, drive through the balls of the toes so the calf's loaded, and then we punch one knee into the wall. So you'll see my back glutes locked up nice and strong. And then we're going to focus on driving through the ground and driving through the wall. Really strong, really strong. And so the focus points I want you guys to think about is engaging that glute through the back side, but then also the front. You'll notice how my toe stays behind my knee. I'm not diving out in front. So we're nice and strong, and it's the thigh that we're focusing on, punching forward. We'll do 10 of those each side. The first exercises we're going to do is really cool. We're going to work into something called post-activation potentiation, where basically we're going to go into a max effort in an isometric contraction. So we're going to create all the angles that we want to do from our takeoff position against the sled and just drive hard into the wall as hard as we can for about 5 to 10 seconds. So not to the point where we're fully fatigued, but to the point where we're really, really jacked up and we can feel everything tense and feel really powerful. Once we've done this, so heel to heel like we did earlier, knee pulls back over toe, we're loaded, and then body comes on that 45, and I'm driving into the wall. So once we've done this, about 30 seconds rest, up to about 2 minutes. So again, we want to use this to feel like it's going to help us drive more power in our takeoff, but we don't want to be fatigued when we're coming up to the cone line. Now, all we're going to do for today's acceleration is our first 3 steps is going to be the focus. Power off this first 3 steps. So once we've had that 30 seconds rest, we set up unloaded, but the theory is we're really thinking the mindset that I'm still driving into the sled, which is going to trick my body into creating more force through the ground, and we'll train ourselves to move faster. So the 2-point start position again, same loading position over the top, and I'm just concentrating on 3 steps. So this is 1, 2, 3. Nice and strong. So if we work through that again, set yourself up as much power and speed through that initial takeoff. Loading. That's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so how we want to program this with this first initial power movement is it's really important to make sure that, okay, we've done the post-activation potentiation. So we've loaded the sled, we've had our rest, we've done our sprint. From there, we have 2 minutes before we then initiate into that next set. Keep it nice and simple, just work off the favored side. We'll do 3 rounds. So our main speed strength exercise is going to be what's called a rack clean. So this is fantastic for acceleration because it sets us up in that same short angle that we would be from that takeoff, or if we're in a game situation, field-based sport, from that athlete stance where we don't have the stretch of the legs. So we want to set the bar up roughly about knee height. And then from this position here, we just soften the knee and then just open up. The eyes are up. So I'm essentially in a really strong position to jump from here. Now we brace up really strong with the bar, and it's all about jump power. And so from there, again, it's the same triple extension, hips, knee and ankles, angle that we want to create to give us power on our sprint. So it's a great lift for us, again, to replicate getting that good force reaction through the ground and moving load at speed. So for this one, keep the reps short. We want to keep 4 and under. So we'll start about 3 sets of 4 with the same about 2 minutes rest between, making sure we're not accumulating any fatigue as we're working from the first set to third. We still want to be nice and fresh and fast when we're moving the weight. Okay, so to finish, we're going to focus on our supplementary work. So I always like to do a little bit of single leg work and core, which is really going to help complement our speed. When we're doing this next exercise, you're going to need a plate or something just to elevate the front foot so we can get really good strength up coming through that midfoot calf, and then a bench to elevate the back foot so we can focus on that front leg. Like we've done for everything this session, the load doesn't have to be heavy. Focus on being able to move fast and making sure we're accelerating through the lifts. And then if you're moving quickly, we can start to add some weight. So I'll set up with the ball of my midfoot on the plate, and then the back foot goes up on the box. From here, without overthinking, I just get really stiff and brace, and I'm going to drive my knee over the toe and punch up nice and strong. And if you watch really close, what you'll notice is the angles are the same as what we warmed up with earlier. As the knee goes towards the second toe, the hips loaded into the opposite side. So we've got that really good, strong position coming through calf, quad, and glute, just like we want to be in our sprint position on our takeoff. So it's a great exercise to get strength through there. And then we'll superset that with the stirring of the pot. So essential for sprinting that the trunk position does not change. We want a nice strong core and the spine to remain stable. So there's a great drill for that. We set up in a plank position, forearms are on, and we're going to go for 30 seconds away from the ball. Exhale, stir. Exhale, stir. If this is too much, we can set up from the knees. The main focus again is that there's no movement of the body, and you'll get a really good strong ab burn, especially if you're smart and you're using that exhale as you do the rotation. You'll feel how the abs squeeze that bit tighter. Okay, so the sets and reps for those supplementary lifts are going to be a little bit higher volume. So we're going to go 3 sets of 12 reps either side on the Bulgarian split squats, and then we're going to do 3 sets of 30 seconds on the ball. The higher volume just allows us to create a little bit more time under tension to execute the pattern more efficiently if we're doing more reps over and over. So that's a strength session done. Remember, the key thing with our programming is we don't need to select a million exercises. We're just choosing ones that are really efficient for us, that tackle all angles of what we want to improve on for acceleration, and then executing them really well.